Hey, back with a Fox News alert. A live look right now of smoke over Gaza as fighting resumed this morning. Israeli officials saying Hamas violated the terms of their ceasefire. This is the IDF reveals. Child hostages taken by the terror group were drugged and branded like cattle. Fox News senior strategic analyst and retired four-star General Jack Keane on the breaking developments. General, first off, does it surprise you? Children, number one, taken, and number two, treated like that?
Well, we know from the outset that Hamas completely changed its tactics on October the 7th. One, to focus on killing civilians versus the IDF, and then taking wholesale hostages to include women, children, and also barbaric treatment of them as is now unfolding. It's not surprising, but it's certainly profoundly disappointing. These people are monsters, and I believe the national leadership in Israel has got it right. We've got to eliminate the effectiveness of this organization as a military terrorist organization, and certainly as a government in Gaza. And the job is not over until that's done.
So we understand, too, they're going to move towards the south, but they told a lot of the civilians go to the south. So they're opening up an evacuation zone to Rafah because they're going to go into Khan Yunis. I apologize if I didn't say those names correctly. So they're going to go hit there right away. General, I would assume that with the satellites in the sky or the drones flying, they saw possibly where a lot of these hostages came out from and may be poised to do a rescue operation for the rest. Is that just me hoping, or is that plausible?
I think it's very challenging. Certainly, Hamas is very much aware of the potential of something like that. One, even if we have some sense of where they are, can we get in there and get them out without harm to them? Certainly Hamas, at the point of confrontation, they know someone's coming for them. They would likely kill them. That's normal for hostage takers. So yeah, this is a challenging operation. I think the most likely one is the path we've been on. It's in Hamas' interest to use the hostages as leverage to delay Israel's operational campaign, and two, to protect the regime leaders at the end of this thing. That is why they're going to hold on to a certain tranche of them to guarantee that these leaders are going to live on. Whether that actually happens or not remains to be seen.
General, the word is from our administration to the Israelis: don't do in the south what you did in the north. Go into the building. Don't blow it up from the sky. Be more precise with your attacks to avoid civilian casualties. How do you, if you're Israel, how do you take that advice?
Well, first of all, Israel is always going to listen to the United States because the United States is their indispensable ally. They would have a very difficult time going it alone without the support of the United States, and they fully know that. My concern is, what is the United States saying? I mean, I think supporting Israel in the campaign, the president started out that correctly. Getting into the details of how they execute their campaign, that I think belongs to Israel and their leaders. And the kind of counsel we should give them is something they already know. Conduct military operations and certainly protect as many civilians as you possibly can in the execution of that operation. And then let Israel execute those details of that plan. We don't need to get into micromanaging them, as I think we likely really are when we're making public statements and we're telling the American people the advice we're giving to the Israelis. I don't think we should have those kind of public disclosures. Let the Israelis run the campaign. They certainly are very much aware of the potential for civilian casualties in the South.
I hear you. General Jack Keane, always educational. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
You guys have a great weekend. Thank you.
Yep.